Okay, here we are. Today is October 30th, 2018. It is a Tuesday. It is 4:50 a.m. I am located Northern Virginia, Alexandria, right now. Coming to you live. Peace. So, I don't know. Just felt one thing to compel to talk about since I just left, just got back to this area. I'm right outside of DC. I'm in right now in Alexandria. Like I said, I just right outside the DC area. We call it the DC, Maryland, Virginia, or the DMV, or Nova, Northern Virginia, which is really much different than any other. It's really the suburbs of Washington, D.C. That's what I call it. I'm like, kind of give you an estimate. If no traffic, I can be at the White House in 20 minutes. I'll be at the Washington Monument in about 10 to 15 minutes. So, anyway, enough rambling on about that. I just got back from Mexico. Always wanted to go to Mexico. So, what I did, I was took a flight out to San Diego. Went ahead and got off San Diego International Airport. Caught the train or the trolley over to the last stop, which was San Isidro. I think that's how you pronounce it. Got off there. We walked, or I walked. I was by myself. I walked over to the Mexico side in Tijuana, had a blast, and came back. Walked back, no trouble, just nice, clean transition into Tijuana, Mexico. Spent 5 days in Mexico, come out, and nice immigration process, nice people, nice clean facilities, walking through the immigration, walking through the border gate. No chaos. Many people do it all the time. So I just wanted to put that out there. Number two, I learned a term the other day. It was a term that I want to focus on. And this term that I learned was talking about the influence of the media and the government talking all this crap about how things are going, just for fear. I mean, it's just like, okay, to keep the people in fear. I mean, it's called the psychological operations, psych ops. I mean, I'd never really heard the term psych ops. I mean, it's like, okay, well, I mean, you hear all this stuff on the news and media and people propping up this propaganda. It's like the president, and it's like none of this shit is really how it's portrayed to be. It's like, if your whole life you wanted to go to Disney World in Orlando and you had this image of it in your head because of everything that you saw on TV, and then when you get there, you figure, well, it's much different than what I realized. This is how crossing the border in Mexico was. It was, I thought it was going to be all rough and pat down. I mean, it's just like, it was almost like a nice walk, actually, a nice scenic walk from one city to another city, from Tijuana to San Diego. I mean, it's beautiful walk, beautiful day. I mean, plenty of amenities on the way. I mean, shopping centers. I mean, full blown shopping centers. It's just like nice people. It was a nice scenic walk, and so many people were making that walk every day. So why do they make it seem like all this pressure is going on around the world, and then when you get to those parts of the world, it's not really that? I'm just saying, okay, maybe I was in Tijuana. Mexico's a big state. There's a lot of shit going on all over the place. When I first told people I was going down there, look at the common motherfucker that sits up and watches TV and the news all day. Well, what are you going down there for? I don't. I would stay away from. Same thing people said when I went to Colombia. It's just like most beautiful experience I've ever had in my life in Cartagena, Colombia, and So I'm watching the news and it shows the infiltration of all these people from Honduras and El Salvador making their migration through. First of all, what I want to know. is why do these people think it's so, where did they get this image that, America, I can understand back in the early 1900s during the great industrial revolution and stuff like that, why people thought that this was something, it was a new continent. People came here for religious freedoms. People came here for freedom of speech. People came here for freedom of enterprise and business. Okay, but that was like 100 years ago. I mean, and now these people are coming here like we have our own problems. I mean, America is 3.8 million square miles. 3.8 million square miles. That's bigger than Brazil. 3.8 million square miles and roughly 330 million people. And we have problems of homelessness and police brutality. I mean, shootings. Oh man, there was just another tragic shooting in Philadelphia. It just makes you, I mean, I mean, I mean, what is it about this country? I mean, I go into stores. I grew up in this area. I've gone into stores and shopping centers and neighborhoods that I grew up around. I mean, there was black and white people, just black and white. I mean, you had occasional Latinos or occasional Asian, but never to this degree. I mean, it's now you go out, everybody in my community, in the shopping centers, everyone that works and shops, in the banks, in everyone is a foreigner from countries. Whether it's Latin America or Asia or Africa. I don't know. I mean, these are immigrants everywhere already. Okay, so what I'm saying from that time of the Industrial Revolution to now, I think the influxation of immigrants has gotten to like a boiling point to the point is to where Native Americans like myself can't even find the employment that they could 30 years ago. It doesn't jive. And now you have all these people acting like, okay, I'm going to America like this is the land of milk and honey or something. Maybe at one time that was true, but it ain't like that no more, immigrants, okay? It is tough in this motherfucker. And I'm going to tell you point blank from someone that has grown up throughout the 70s, 80s, and 90s in the early decade of the 2000s. And we're closing out this last decade, the second decade of the 2000s. And I'm like, man, I've been raised pretty much because of my family, not only in DC, New York, Chicago, Detroit, Cleveland. And, as I got older, I started connecting down south, mainly Florida, Miami. Dude, I done seen it all. I mean, I done seen the slums and the shootings and the toughness and the homelessness and the rash shit. I mean, poverty in this country. Motherfuckers can't get a job in this country. People killing each other in this country. Wars in this country. Police brutality in this country. Fucking government oppression in this country. Government slavery in this country. In my lifetime, in the past 40 years. I'm sitting up here talking to these motherfuckers like, well, what the fuck you come in this country? I go down there for vacation. You know what I'm saying? I got second residency down in there. I've been fucking around in Costa Rica and Panama and Colombia, now Mexico recently. Like I said, I finally went to Mexico. I'm trying to get my retirement down there. I'm trying to go down, earn enough money here so I can go back to your country and retire. You know? Now you want to come up here, earn money in my country so you can send it back to your country. Don't learn how to speak the language. You don't put in the time. You don't put in the effort. Just come here, take a job that a Native American should have. And when I say a Native American, I don't only talk about the indigenous people, Native America. I talk about people who are, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, tenth generation Americans. not somebody who just came over here and got their papers. You know, they already got the jobs at Walmart. I just walked into Bank of America. I've been going to since it used to be Nations Bank. And then before that, it was Sovereign Bank. I go in here, I'm the only Native American in there. I mean, everybody in there is a foreigner, and I can tell that they're foreigners because of their accent. I'm not just placing that on them. Not only you can look and kind of tell they're foreigners, but you know they could be born in the country. I don't know, but with their accent, I don't think so. There's this Bank of America right down the street in Hicktown, and I mean we're like in Fairfax County, Alexandria County, Prince Williams County, Virginia. I mean these places were predominantly white when I was growing up here. And, you know, so now more immigrants. Where did the blacks and the whites go, is what I'm saying. Where did your typical white boy, your typical white girl, your typical black man, your typical black girl, where did they go? Yeah, it was just everybody's got something on their head in Walmart. I got something on my head, it's my do rag, but everybody's got something. But if I were to work at Walmart, I would be expected to take this off. And it's clean, it's silk. It's just to keep my hair nice and stylish until I get to where I'm going. But I can't show up at Walmart, but they can show up with their, you know, with their Hindu, Muslim, Indian head shit on at the register. They accept that culture. They never accepted this when I was growing up. When I was growing up, I had to take my do rag off when I showed up for those types of jobs. Man, what's going on here? And then you got some reckless ass train wreck of a president just shouting shit into a microphone, just likes to hear himself. I don't know. I mean, what are you talking about? A great economy? And how is it a great economy if everybody is employed still for $10 an hour and fucking inflation is probably uh, 20 times that of what it was in the past 20 years? I don't understand that. I mean, you can't buy yourself a loaf of bread for the same price as you did 20 years ago, but your wage for the same job is pretty much the same as it was 20 years ago. I mean, $10 an hour jobs were something that were around when I was coming out of college, like 20 fucking years ago, man. I mean, a $10 an hour job is something that I got 10, 20 years ago, not even 10 years ago. So now people are average making $10 an hour, but the fucking price of bread is like 10 times of what the fuck it used to be. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. I remember when gas was 85 cents a gallon, man. You know, and so you're still paying people $10 an hour, but you're bragging about how good the economy is. So people are working shit jobs just because they have no choice. It's either that, do or die. I might as well hope for the best. And then you got an immigration problem where motherfuckers are going to take those menial jobs and the employers are going to give them to them because they can cut their benefits, they can cut their workers right because they're even more desperate than you are because they say, well, fuck it, in my country I was lucky if I made $10 a day. Fuck, $10 an hour, I'll do it. So I just want to say this too. It's kind of wandering on all types of directions, I know, because I had a lot to say about the economy, and this shit is not really like that. It's just motherfuckers, their benefits ran out, and they said, fuck it, I gotta go out here and do something. So now you're working two and three of those $10 an hour jobs, have no time for your family, your kids, yourself, eating fast food, and then you have a heart attack one day and say, fuck it. You immigrants migrating to America, this motherfucker, you're better off. Let me tell you what I've been doing for the past, I would say, since 2010, or 2009, since I first started going to, I think my first trip to Central America was 2008, 2007. I went to Costa Rica first, then Panama. Built a whole business, a whole empire in Panama. My goal is to go back down there or Colombia and retire. I don't know what you motherfuckers are coming up here for. It's fucking mad up here. The closest thing I would do in the United States, and I've been all through the United States, is maybe Central Florida, and I still be down in South America. So I don't know why you motherfuckers are coming here. It's tough. You'll wind up on the streets. You'll wind up beaten by the government. You'll wind up beaten by the police, persecuted, dead, shot, hunger, in the streets, kicked on, spit on, stepped on. The persecution that your ass will get here is probably worse than you. Why not go to some Latin American country or state that is doing well and try to migrate there? You know, Panama's doing nice. Nicaragua's not so bad. Costa Rica, I was in Costa Rica 2 months ago. I loved it. Why not go to a Central American state and try to seek residency there and live a great life there? I mean, that's what me I want. I'm born in a military family, grew up in the military all my life. Get the fuck out of this place, man. This fucking country is a madhouse. I'm gonna leave it at that. Peace.